Okay. Says we're live. Welcome to the May 18th, 2020 meeting of the Town of Dover Planning Board. Today's meeting has been convened in accordance with the Governor's March 13th, 2020 Executive Order 202.1, which suspends certain provisions of the open meeting law to allow a municipal board to convene a meeting via video conferencing. In accordance with the executive order, the public has been provided with the ability to view the meeting, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. I have confirmed that this meeting has been duly noticed. We have fulfilled our legal notice requirements by posting notice at Town Hall and posting notice on the town's website. This is our first attempt at running a meeting this way, so please understand if there's a less than stellar performance. We might have a few technical glitches as we go through the process. A few pointers, though, throughout most of the meeting, all participants except for whoever's speaking at the time will be muted. However, during polling the members, we may unmute everyone for a brief period. So just be aware of that and be aware of any distracting noises around you, as well as not saying anything that you don't want everyone to hear. Participants will physically raise hands to second a motion, as well as when they wish to speak and they haven't been called on yet. Please be patient, as I might be looking down at paperwork and I might not pick up immediately on the fact that you have raised your hand. So now I'm going to unmute everyone, and we're going to all stand. Oh, and well, we were going to all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, but the flag isn't here.
It's behind you.
Behind you.
I guess I'll just have to go with that. Okay. So we'll now say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first item on our agenda is 35 Route 22, Rose Cazada. And we have Mr. Renia here of Renia Engineering to make a presentation to catch us up to date on the project.
And Rich, I can share my screen with everything you've submitted, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I have it up as well too, but if you want to put it up, that's great.
I think they have only set for me and the other co-hosts to do it. So just let me know what you want to throw up and I'll do it.
Okay, I think, well, out of what we resubmitted, so good evening, everybody. Welcome back, I guess. We, on March 11th, it looks like we had resubmitted. We provided a new updated site plan set with 8 sheets. And we provided the elevation sheets completed by Van Lett Architecture. That was 2 sheets. So those are probably the 2 sheets for us to take a look at tonight. As we go through your comments, Aaron, I would think that would make sense to do that. I think a couple of the key takeaways for me to mention as far as what I think we're looking to do or to try to accomplish tonight is I think we're ready to do the 239M referral to Dutchess County Planning and start our seeker circulation. And then just as an update on our end, we're very close to having a SWIP completed. So we'll hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be able to make that submission. And then Joe will be able to review that on our end from the technical end.
Okay, thank you. Aaron, did you have anything that you wanted to highlight from the comment memo?
Yeah, I'll go over a couple of things. It was The submission responded to pretty much all the comments. There's just a couple of items that I'll go over now. If you guys have my memo open, I sent it last Thursday. First thing, I'm just looking at sheet 2 of the site plan here. Very minor thing, but I'm going to zoom in. I think for these 2 buildings, we want to have 2-story, 4,900 square foot residence for each, just because they're 2 stories, and the footprint's 2,480, but let's use the total floor area for each on those, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine on our end.
Okay. Comment number 4 in the memo just points out that after further discussion, there does not appear to be a need for DOT comments here or DOT permits. DOT will receive a copy of the application materials as an interested agency, but there's no highway work permit required here. There's no other permits necessary in accordance with consultation we had with Joe earlier last meeting. As Rich said, the SWIP is on its way, so we noted that that's still outstanding, but we can still move forward with circulating plans. Comment number 5 just clarifies after further review that SHPO does not need to be involved on this. They don't need to see a copy of anything for the application. I originally thought they did based on the SWIP and the disturbance involved, but after reviewing the LOR, letter of resolution between the state and DEC and SHPO, none of those thresholds are exceeded. So this, just filling out the EAF and the EAF mapper, which shows that there's not archaeologically sensitive areas here, is fine. So you can disregard all that stuff. And comment number 6 was just noting that the elevations are part of this package, and I have it on my screen here. We can go through it if Rich wants to touch on those after I'm done. One thing I just noted in my memo about those elevations is and the board can weigh in, but I thought maybe the northern elevation might be needed here just because it's missing from the set and it seems like it might be visible from traffic on 22, but if it can be shown that it's not, that's fine. I just thought maybe the southbound traffic would see some of this building and the neighboring property as well. Sure, there's not much there, but if you have something from the architect, we can take a look at that. Rich added a sidewalk to the plan here, as we discussed last meeting, between the residences and the commercial building in 22. It's shown here. It's connecting to the other sidewalk next to the commercial, and it provides good access from the residential down to the roadway without having to go through the parking lot. And in doing that, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, but the impervious went up 55% compared to 53.8 last time.
Right.
So it went up a little bit.
Right, and
So
we
that
discussed that
waiver-
at the meeting.
Right. So that waiver of the exceedance of 50% impervious is still in play. That's still something that's on the table here that they're requesting. That's comment number 10 in my memo explaining that. That was it. I also wanted to just check in, Rich, if you've heard back from the Heritage Program on that timber rattlesnake.
Yes, we did get a letter back from them. I don't know if it's something, well, we'll submit that. I can pull, if you want, I can pull it up separately and read it to you. I think it was their standard form letter. All right, so we have a letter that we received on March 26th, 2020. And it says, in response to your recent request, we have reviewed the New York Natural Heritage Program database with respect to the above project. We have no records of rare or state listed animals or plants or significant natural communities at the project site. Within 0.4 miles of the project site is a documented location of timber rattlesnake. The individual animals may travel 1.5 miles from documented locations. information about species habitat conservation and management are available online in Natural Heritage conservation guides at their website. For information about any permit considerations for your project, please contact permit staff. So that's where they left it with us, that there is potential for a rattlesnake documented location within 0.4 miles. So I'm thinking that that comes back to the board. With this being a pretty much developed site, we're not going into the woods, or we're not taking down any trees for this project. Do you want us to pursue that further, or are you satisfied that there's not anything documented on the site?
Well, I mean, they're saying that they could move up to a mile, but that's probably not in their regular path if there's already been something there.
That's my thinking.
Many years. I mean, it's been pretty intensely used, I would think.
Did they say what direction the 0.4 miles?
No, it just says within 0.4 miles, but it's going to be, it's got to be
west,
up in,
probably.
it's got to be up in the mountain, because that's, on the west side of the site into the mountainside.
Is
Like
the
the
west
rock.
side of the site already disturbed as well, where the residences are going?
Yes, that's the former gravel mine. Yes. Yeah, well, I'll just back up on that. Yes, the west side of the actual site, that was where the residents are going. That was formerly mined out as well too. So it's basically a bed of gravel that was there. You can see where the topo drops off on the south side of the site.
Mhm.
That there's basically an embankment there, and that area was all mined out. So that was previously all disturbed as part of a gravel mine. And then the area, the next property to the west, was also part of a much larger mine. And then that's all part of I forget the name of the project that was before the planning board. The project.
Stony Brook?
Yeah, Stony Brook. Thank you. With the townhouses. That's part of that, which was a former gravel mine as well too. And then as you move further to the west, you come into the area of Stone Church. So there's a lot of disturbance between this site and the actual undisturbed mountain.
Mr. Oster is actually in the meeting right now.
Oh, okay.
Nice to see you. Nice to hear you.
So I would think that maybe we should ask for the direction, because it could be on the other side as well. On the other side of the highway.
Oh, that would take you over to the East Mountain side.
Right. So maybe we want to find out, because they're obviously probably not going to be crossing the road. So
Yeah,
that
I
would
don't
be,
think it's that side, because that would be much more than 4 miles or 0.4 miles across, because we'd be going all the way across the bottom of the valley, across the 10-mile river, across the
well,
tree.
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Chairwoman, one of the board members has his hand up. Member Courtine.
I can't see everybody here with this screen share
I
on.
just unmuted you, Ryan.
Hi,
Okay.
it's Ryan. I spent years going all over the properties west of there for the Dover Stone Church. There's no rattlesnakes. There's not gonna be any rattlesnakes on this property.
Okay, the board has spoken. I think the letter that sounds fine. I mean, they're acknowledging that the site isn't sensitive. You got a lot of distance, you got a lot of disturbance. I think that I'm satisfied with that.
Okay. All right. So we'll submit that letter for the record.
Thanks.
Okay. Victoria, did you have any comments that you wanted to say?
Just if the board is ready tonight, we've prepared a resolution to send it to county planning and start the seeker process. But as far as the plans, most of our concerns have already been addressed about, the septics, the sidewalks, et cetera.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, do you want to comment on that waiver, what your recommendation would be? Or do you want to wait until you see the SWIP?
I'm okay with everything. The SWIP is going to be submitted shortly, and that won't affect, so I'm fine with everything the way it is.
And that, do you recommend that we accept the waiver request?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. And then now, let's go and we're gonna run down the, you can stop the screen share, I think. Well,
You want me to bring up the resolution, or should we look at the
I
elevations
wanted to
again?
go around the room and ask the board members if anybody,
Sure.
I can't see everybody because,
Well, if you want me to
You
touch
can-
on the elevations first, then you can get everybody's comments, if that makes sense.
oh, okay. We're not gonna do the, oh, shoot. Now I lost everything. Oh, there. Okay. We're not gonna do the ARB tonight, but go ahead and review the,
Okay, yeah, I'll just run through it very quick. So what you're looking at right now, the upper elevation is the view from Route 22, or the east elevation. The right side of the building, the gable that you see, that's a part that would be bumped out towards Route 22 a little bit closer, and that's the area that is going to contain the restaurant portion. And then as you move to the left, under where the three dormers are, that's what is being proposed as the commercial part of the building. And you can see that depicted there is a lower roof line that's going to be a covered walkway, more or less. So the sidewalk that you see on our plan is the covered walkway. And then kind of in front of that and in between the two pieces, that's where the bioretention would go. Then if you scroll down a little bit, yes, that view right there is the southern view, or the view if you're standing in the new proposed parking lot and you're looking at the building. So you're standing to the south and looking to the north. So mainly you're getting a view of what we're proposed as the commercial or retail section of the building. The idea is that wraparound canopy with the covered sidewalk, and then there's the commercial store space behind that.
Do you have any room for outdoor tables under that canopy?
Yes, if you go back up to the upper canopy or the upper elevation. So in this elevation, there's a small canopy that sticks out. So there'll be a room for some covered tables under that small canopy that you see on the gable end all the way to the right, where it looks like 4 glass doors. So the idea is that in nice weather, that could open up. And then there's some open patio without roofing on it. That's shown on our site plan.
Right here.
That's the bioretention. But if
I'm
you,
sorry. My bad. Let me zoom in.
yeah. Yeah, so we have the area that says proposed outdoor
Right here.
cafe patio. And then the white area, so you see a hatched area, and then that white area right where right there, that's the covered portion.
Okay.
Great. So is it fair to say that, the northern elevation here would look somewhat similar to what you're showing on the south side with the windows?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that available to share, or?
We can ask for that. I don't think that would be an issue to ask for that.
Sure. I think when it comes time for the actual ARB decision, it would be good to have that one.
Okay.
Should I keep going down? To the
Yes. Yeah. So now these are the residential buildings, which there's one set of elevations because the two buildings are proposed to be identical. So the upper elevation is looking from the south or the north, depending on where you are in the courtyard. So this is what you would see if you walk up in between the two buildings and you looked at the buildings, with the main entry being right in the center. And then the two end walls are the lower sections. So you would see that from either end. They're basically identical.
okay. Anything else, Aaron?
I got nothing else.
Okay, let me see if I can scroll down here. Oh, there we
Stop
go.
the share for now, but I'll pull up
Okay.
the resolution when you're ready too.
So first I'm gonna go around and ask, Michael, did you have any comments that you wanted to make?
No, no comments.
Okay. Tamar,
No comments.
Bill,
No comments.
Ryan,
No comments.
did I miss any? Henry.
No comment.
Okay. Oh, wait. Let's see. Let me just cancel that. Okay, so yes, go ahead and bring up the resolution then.
Hang on here.
Okay, if everyone's had a chance to review it,
Yes.
now
Yes.
therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby classifies the project as an unlisted action under seeker, declares its intent to serve as a lead agency for the purpose of seeker, and directs its secretary to circulate notice of its intent to serve as lead agency to all involved and interested agencies. Directs its secretary to refer the project application materials to the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development for a report and recommendation thereon pursuant to Section 239M of the General Municipal Law. I'll make a motion to approve this resolution. And can someone second the motion? Bill? Okay, the secretary will now poll the board for the vote. Are you muted?
Aye.
No.
Oh, now Jeff is unmuted. Oh, Sam, I see. Who did you call first?
Michael,
Aye.
Tamar,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Okay.
What about Valerie?
Get out of that.
Valerie
Aye.
and Pete's absent.
Okay. All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda. We're going to be going through a few extensions, and the governor has issued executive orders tolling certain statutory deadlines. The planning board will apply this tolling period to projects that need an extension of time. For ease of record keeping, projects that receive unlimited extensions, such as erosion and sediment control permits, will continue on their regular schedules. And the first extension that we're going to discuss tonight is Stony Brook Estates, which is a permit site plan renewal because they've been delayed considerable amount of time. So, Mr. Ogier, would you care to unmute yourself, or should I unmute you? Where is he?
Oh, sorry, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Did you want to say a little bit about the project?
Just that, this is something that unfortunately we've been going through since 2001, I think we started, and unfortunately received our full and final approvals for the plan that's in front of all of you in 2008. It came together with Dutchess County Planning, helped conceive the final plan that was presented. It was the first time that was ever the Forever Green, I think, statute was used, and we donated a substantial portion of the land to the Dutchess County Land Conservancy to have an increased density, to not go across the river. We did some different unique things. And then unfortunately, we got our approvals initially during the epicenter of the first financial crisis. So for many years, we continued to get extensions. For many years, we continued to get extensions, waiting for what we thought would be an opportunity to develop it. As luck would have it, we actually had two different developers potentially that we were talking to in February and March. Haven't heard from them since the pandemic started in quarantine. But we're still hopeful that, I believe it's a wonderful project. Obviously, it'd be great for the town of Dover to have some, condos downtown, walk to the train. Obviously, beautiful access to Stone Church and all the protected lands around it. I think we designed each of the condo units to face the protected land. So anyway, still believe it's a great project. Still believe we'll find the right person. I think maybe with the shifting deurbanization, maybe that might come out of this. I think there'd be increased demand to live in places like Dover and up north of the city. So we're still hopeful, and obviously we wouldn't have gone through 19 years of this if we didn't believe in it. So
when you say that 19 years, that really makes it sound even more painful.
It's been a while.
Yes. Well, we don't see that there's very much that's changed, so we don't see that we would need to go completely, redo everything. But we would, it was mentioned that you should update your EAF short form just to put, not that you need to change anything on it, but just to put it in the format of the 2019 version.
Yeah, Randy, so last time you were in front of us in 2018, it was in the fall, I think. We went through this exercise as you updated the EAF just to document any new development that did happen on the corridor since your original approval, noting that there shouldn't be any need for any revisiting of studies for seeker, like traffic and all that. And that was fine. It's just that in 2019, the state issued a new form for the seeker long and short forms. There's really not much different, but it's got that 2019 in the corner, and it's supposed to be used for active applications going forward. So I think we can still go ahead and set a public hearing tonight, but while that's, between now and then, if you can get that submitted.
Okay, I'm sure
it's on DEC's website.
Okay.
If you need help finding it, let me know.
I've been on, I think I should be good. Thank you.
Okay. So we weren't exactly sure when we would be setting the public hearing for. Do we have enough time to get everything in place if we keep to our regular first Monday of the month? Would we set the public hearing for June 1? Is there enough time to get the notice out there and everything in place? Or do we want to have the next meeting on June 15th and set it then? I guess that's the decision to be made now.
So legally, there's enough time if we move quickly to get it noticed for the next meeting in a normal situation. I'm not sure that the town has pinned down its public hearing policies yet. So we may want a few days to decide how we're going to hold the public hearing in this forum. But it's up to the board whether you want to have 2 meetings next month or just one. And if so, whether you want it to be the second meeting date or the first.
Jeff, do you want to unmute yourself and tell us, would you recommend waiting till mid-month so the town has a little more time to get up and running on it?
What's the window for legal notice? Like, how much notice do we have to give?
The legal notice we're good on, but it's just a question
10 days. But it's 10 days, but the notice needs to contain the information on how to participate in the hearing.
So we would have to have decided how we're going to run the public hearing, which is a whole other discussion.
I would say the later meeting. We'll have it
Yeah.
all set.
Okay,
Yeah, given the holiday weekend coming up, I think the later meeting is going to be better.
And you got
Okay.
the July 4th holiday in the July meeting, which is going to make the July meeting the second one anyway, too, right?
yeah.
Yes.
So,
So Randy's not concerned about his travel plans.
Doesn't seem like it.
At least there's a little bit of a silver lining. You know?
This is definitely cheaper than flying to New York.
Okay, so I'll make a motion then to set the public hearing for June 15th. And I will unmute everyone. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mar? As the secretary will poll the members.
Val,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Tamar,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you very much. That takes care of that one for tonight, right? We don't have any further discussions, do we? Oh,
So Dutchess County
Need to do-
Planning has waived the requirement that you re-refer an application that's identical to one they've already reviewed. So we don't have to do that step. And as far as seeker, we weren't going to circulate because there hasn't been much change. And I believe the board is leaning in the direction of just reaffirming its prior seeker determination that it looked at again in 2018.
and then the only other thing is if we're going to have the public hearing on the 15th, Randy, who do you have on hand to retrieve the signs and post them?
My two cousins live in Armonk and they're partners. So I would have, my cousin Jamie would come up and post it once it's ready, Lisa. You just tell me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else? That should do it.
All right, well, thank you guys. Good seeing everybody. And I'll see you all June 15th. Stay healthy.
take care.
Right.
You too. Bye now. The next agenda item is Dover Estates. This is just a straightforward
I'll put up the resolution, Val. I'll share my screen with that, okay?
Okay.
Hang on. Dover Estates, you said?
Yep.
Okay, it's up.
So then if you want to scroll down to the part that's in bold. This is for an extension of the property at, where is it? Oh, here.
It's the erosion and sediment control.
This one is the
17th extension.
New York 22 and Rural Avenue in Dover. Now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby grants the applicant a 6-month extension of time to February 1, 2021 to complete the work contemplated under the erosion and sediment control permit as shown on the approved plan entitled Dover Estates, Town of Dover, sheets 1 to 14, dated October 21st, 2004, last revised June 11th, prepared by Northern Westchester Civil Engineering, PC, subject to satisfaction of the conditions set forth of the resolution adopted by the board August 1, 2011, subject to the following conditions: payment of all fees in escrow, proof that the required performance guarantee will remain in full force and effect until at least February 1, 2021. Be it further resolved that before the authorized official may issue a certificate of compliance, the planning board engineer shall provide the authorized official with a written statement indicating that all work authorized under the permit has been completed in accordance with the approved permit. I move that we accept this resolution. Nope, that's not what I want. How do I get everybody back? Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Michael? Oh, and the secretary will hold the members.
Val,
Oh, aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye. Aye.
Henry,
Henry,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
okay, and Tamar.
Aye.
Okay, I got everybody.
okay, the motion is carried. Thank you. Next, we have Bruciano, erosion and sediment control, and this is the property on Cricket Hill. It's another straightforward extension. Now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby grants the applicant a 6-month extension of time to February 2nd, 2021 to complete the work contemplated under the erosion and sediment control permit as shown on the approved plan entitled Proposed Fill Plan, Bruciano Property, prepared by John Meyer Consulting PC, dated July 7th, 2009, as last revised, subject to the following conditions: payment of all fees in escrow, proof that the required performance guarantee will remain in full force and effect until at least February 2nd, 2021. Be it further resolved that before the authorized official may issue a certificate of compliance, the planning board engineer shall provide the authorized official with a written statement indicating that all work authorized under the permit has been completed in accordance with the approved permit. I'll make a motion to accept this resolution. Do we have a second?
Second.
Michael? Oh, the secretary will poll the members.
Val,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Tamar,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
and Henry.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the motion is passed. Next, we have Cricket Valley Energy Erosion and Sediment Control Permit. This is an extension of the property on 2241 State Route 22, Wingdale, New York. We have a resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby grants the applicant an additional 1-year extension of time to April 17th, 2021 to complete the work contemplated under the erosion and sediment control permit as shown on the approved plan set, subject to satisfaction of the conditions set forth in the resolution adopted by the board on April 17th, 2017, as well as the following conditions. Proof that the required performance guarantee will remain in full force and effect until at least April 17th, 2021. 2, payment of all fees in escrow. Be it further resolved that before the authorized official may issue a certificate of compliance, the planning board engineer shall provide the authorized official with a written statement indicating that all work authorized under the permit has been completed in accordance with the approval permit. I make a motion that we accept this resolution. Could we have a second?
Second.
Bill? The secretary will poll
Val,
aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Tamar,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. The motion is carried. And next and last extension that we have, oh, there's page 2 of it, is Dover Greens. Let's see, I think I'm missing the second page here. I'll read it from the screen. Now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby applies the tolling period to the applicant's project and extends the time to demonstrate satisfaction of the conditions of approval for the project in accordance with the September 19, 2016 resolution of approval to August 31st, 2020.
I was wondering if maybe
Everyone's clear what this,
Victoria can clarify this one because it's got
Yeah,
stuff
I
to
was
do with
gonna
COVID
ask
and everything.
that too.
yeah, this one's a little bit different than what we normally do. Dover Greens had submitted a package to the town indicating that they were ready to have their site plan signed and met the conditions of approval. But then the pandemic happened and it's been unable to determine whether they've met all those conditions or not during that time period. So Governor Cuomo has basically told all statutory deadlines. So they would have expired and had to have submitted for reapproval. So if we apply that statutory tolling, we get to add 81 days. We get to freeze it for 81 days and then add it on the end. So that's what we're doing. We're just memorializing what Governor Cuomo's executive order did for record keeping purposes.
And this is just to satisfy the conditions for the signing of the site plan set, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so then, now therefore be it resolved that the planning board hereby applies the tolling period to the applicant's project and extends the time to demonstrate satisfaction of the conditions of approval for the project in accordance with the September 19th, 2016 resolution of approval to August 31st, 2020. I make a motion to accept this resolution. Let's see, we need to see the grid or stop the screen share.
All right.
So I can see the people. Okay. Could we have a second to the motion?
Second.
Tamar? Okay.
Val,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Tamar,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, great. The resolution is passed. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? We have two tonight. We have the February ones and the March minutes. The February ones were held up a little bit because we were between secretaries, recall, for that February meeting. So there were some of the resolutions that were missing from the minutes, which Lisa has gone back, researched them, and watched the videos and included those resolutions. So the minutes that we are voting on and approving tonight are the updated ones with all the resolutions included. Does anybody have any additions, corrections, questions? No. Okay, I make a motion that we accept the February 3rd, 2020 Planning Board minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Tamar?
Val,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Tamar,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, the minutes are accepted. And then we have the March 2nd, 2020 Planning Board minutes, meeting minutes. And I move that we accept those as well. Do we have a second?
Second.
Who said that? Bill?
Bill,
Okay,
Val,
aye.
Tamar,
Aye.
Henry,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everyone. If we don't have anything else to discuss, I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Just thought of something to just think about. For Stony Brook Estates, do we have an escrow still established for that? Just because there will be a little of time for, attending the public hearing and a little time for Victoria on resolution writing. Not much for me, but I think we want to just check.
I
Is
believe
anything-
there's still escrow, and I will check with Tracy in finance this week to see what's left.
Okay, that was it.
Okay, and then if we need to, we can add something at the beginning of the meeting next time. Okay, I make a motion then to adjourn the meeting. Could we have a second?
Second.
Tamar, all those, oh. Tickle off. Aye.
Michael, Tamar,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Bill, Henry.
Aye.
Okay, all set.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Have a
Good night.
Good night.